the design center Linz witnessed something unforgettable. Eala and Jelena Ostapenko battled for 1 hour and 43 minutes in a match that had everything: thrilling rallies, momentum swings, and a comeback that will be talked about for years. The 20-year-old Filipina controlled the early exchanges, extending rallies and forcing errors from the 2017 French Open champion. At 5-1 in the second set, victory was just one game away. Then Ostapenko flipped the switch. The Latvian reeled off 6 straight games, firing 41 winners to Eala's 9, completing a stunning turnaround that left the tennis world speechless. From breathtaking baseline duels to clutch shot-making under pressure, these are the highlights you cannot miss. The round of 16 matchup at the Upper Austria Ladies Linz Open was more than just a tennis match. It was a battle of contrasting philosophies. On one side stood Jelena Ostapenko, the 2017 French Open champion and world number 23, a player defined by raw power and aggression. On the other stood Eala, the 20-year-old Filipina ranked number 46, whose game is built on patience, defense, and forcing errors. The history between them favored Eala. She had beaten Ostapenko twice in 2025, first at the Miami Open, 7-6, 7-5, and again at Eastbourne, where the Latvian retired while trailing 0-6, 6-2, 3-2. But those matches were on hard court and grass. This was clay, Ostapenko's surface. The opening game set the tone for what was to come. Both players held serve through the first 5 games, with Eala edging ahead 3-2. The Filipina strategy was clear: extend rallies, move Ostapenko from side to side, and wait for the error. It worked. She broke Ostapenko's serve to take a 4-2 lead, and for a moment, it looked like history might repeat itself. But Ostapenko is not a player who stays down for long. The Latvian broke back immediately in the 7th game, her trademark aggression suddenly finding its mark. She reeled off 4 consecutive games, tightening her grip from the baseline and capitalizing on Eala's dip and first serve rhythm. The first set went to Ostapenko, 6-4. The numbers from the opening set told a story of fine margins. Eala had played her game, extended rallies, and forced errors, but Ostapenko's firepower was beginning to overwhelm her defensive structure. The Latvian's winners were coming more frequently, her confidence growing with every shot.
The second set began as a masterclass from Eala. She raised her level from the baseline, dictating rallies earlier and stepping inside the court. 2 clean service breaks put her ahead 4-0, with her return games doing the damage against Ostapenko's delivery. The Filipina's defense was impenetrable. Every ball came back. Every rally seemed to last forever. Ostapenko, visibly frustrated, began leaking double faults and unforced errors. The momentum was entirely with Eala. Even when Ostapenko tried to respond, Eala stayed composed in the longer exchanges. She extended the gap to 5-1 after a quick exchange of breaks, putting herself just 1 game away from forcing a deciding third set. The Filipino fans who had packed the design center Linz erupted. Victory was within reach. Then the momentum shifted. Ostapenko, showing the resilience that had defined her championship career, broke Eala's serve in the 7th game to spark a stunning turnaround. I told myself, okay, I'm going to fight. I will do everything possible. I will fight till the end this set. And if there's a third set, it's fine. I still have another chance, Ostapenko would later reveal. From there, the 2017 French Open champion went on a tear. She won the next 5 games, systematically dismantling Eala's defensive game with first-strike tennis and flattening out her ground strokes. The Filipina, who had been in complete control just moments earlier, could only watch as her lead evaporated. The second set ended 7-5. The comeback was complete.
The final statistics from the match reveal a tale of 2 jet-around different approaches and why power ultimately prevailed over patience. Ostapenko finished with 41 winners to Eala's 9. That disparity in firepower ultimately told the story. The Latvian's aggressive style, while risky, paid off when it mattered most. She was willing to go for big shots, to swing for the lines, to take chances that Eala's defensive game could not counter. But the numbers also show how close Eala came. The Filipina won more points in the rallies that extended beyond 5 shots. She controlled the tempo for large stretches of the match. She had Ostapenko on the ropes, frustrated and seemingly defeated. The turning point statistics are even more revealing. At 5-1 in the second set, Eala's win probability was over 90%, but Ostapenko's willingness to fight, to believe that she could still win, changed everything. She raised her level when it mattered most, while Eala's intensity dipped at the worst possible moment. I was down in the second set, and I told myself, okay, I'm going to fight, Ostapenko said after the match. That fighting spirit, combined with her raw power, proved to be the difference. For Eala, the numbers represent a learning opportunity. She had done everything right for 80% of the match. But tennis is cruel, and the final 20% is often what defines champions. After the match, Ostapenko sat down with reporters and offered a candid assessment of the battle she had just survived. The Latvian, who had lost to Eala twice in 2025, admitted that facing the Filipina was no easy task. When I saw the draw, I was like, wow, that's a tough first round, you know? Like second round for me, but she's a great player, Ostapenko said. The admission was significant. Ostapenko is not a player who typically offers praise to her opponents. She is confident, sometimes to the point of arrogance, but against Eala, she showed respect. She's a great player, and you know, this year some good things are happening. I'm beating players that I never beat before, so it means I'm on the right way, Ostapenko said. The Latvian also revealed her mindset during the second set comeback. Down 1-5, staring at the possibility of a deciding set, she could have folded. Instead, she chose to fight. I told myself I will do everything possible to the end of this set, and if there is a third set, it's fine. I still have another chance, but I think it worked pretty well, she said. I started to play my game, and I didn't give her a lot of chances. The words reveal a champion's mentality. Ostapenko knew that Eala had beaten her before. She knew that the Filipina's defensive style could frustrate her power game, but she refused to let the past dictate the present. She fought, she believed, and she won.
While the final score favored Ostapenko, the match was defined by moments of brilliance from both players. The extended rallies, the clutch shot-making, the emotional swings, all of it combined to create a contest that fans will remember for years. One rally in the first set lasted over 20 shots, with both players refusing to give an inch. Eala's defensive positioning was impeccable, retrieving shots that seemed destined to be winners. Ostapenko's power was relentless, each ground stroke heavier than the last. The crowd watched in silence, then erupted when Ostapenko finally found the line with a forehand winner. Another exchange in the second set saw Eala chase down a drop shot, flick a backhand passing shot cross-court, and force Ostapenko into an error. The Filipina's speed and anticipation were on full display, reminding everyone why she has become one of the most exciting young players in the sport. But the defining moment came in the final games of the second set. With Eala serving at 5-4, 30-30, Ostapenko ripped a backhand return winner down the line that left the Filipino flat-footed. The shot was pure aggression, pure confidence, pure Ostapenko. It was the kind of shot that only a champion can hit under pressure. Eala responded with a backhand passing shot of her own 2 points later, saving a break point and keeping her hopes alive. But Ostapenko was relentless. She broke serve in the next game, then held her own to complete the comeback. The match lasted 1 hour and 43 minutes. Every minute was filled with drama, tension, and world-class tennis.
The defeat to Ostapenko ended Eala's Linz Open campaign in the round of 16, but the loss did not diminish what she had accomplished. She had won her first clay match of the season, defeating home favorite Julia Grabber 6-4, 6-3 in the opening round. She had shown that her game could translate to the slower surface, that her patience and defense could frustrate even the most powerful opponents. The loss to Ostapenko, while heartbreaking, provided valuable lessons. Eala had controlled the match for long stretches. She had proven that she could compete with a former Grand Slam champion on clay. But she also learned that finishing matches is just as important as controlling them. "I think I kept the intensity well throughout the match," Eala had said after her win over Grabber. Against Ostapenko, the intensity was there, but the execution in critical moments was not. The good news for Eala is that the clay season is just beginning. She will have more opportunities to test herself against top competition. The Stuttgart Open, beginning April 13, offers another chance to prove that she belongs among the elite. The Czech curse remains unbroken. Eala has still never beaten a player from the Czech Republic, but Ostapenko is Latvian, not Czech. The loss, while painful, does not extend that particular streak. More importantly, Eala showed that she has the game to compete on clay. She extended rallies, forced errors, and controlled the tempo for large stretches of the match. With more experience and fine-tuning, she could become a force on the surface. For Ostapenko, the victory set up a quarter-final clash against Romanian Elena Gabriela Rus. The Latvian, who entered the tournament as the fourth seed, will be favored to advance further. Her confidence is high after completing the comeback against Eala. For Eala, the focus shifts to the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix in Stuttgart, another WTA 500 event beginning April 13th. She earned a spot in the main draw after Zheng Qinwen withdrew due to injury. The field in Stuttgart is stacked with top talent, including world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka, number 2 Elena Rybakina, number 3 Iga Swiatek, and number 4 Coco Gauff. Eala will have a few days to rest and recover before heading to Germany. The loss to Ostapenko will sting, but she has shown resilience throughout her career. She has bounced back from defeats before. She will bounce back again. The clay season stretches before her: Stuttgart, then Madrid, Rome, and finally Roland Garros. The challenges will only get harder, but after her performance in Linz, Eala has reason to be confident. She is not there yet. The gap between her game and the elite remains, but she is closing it. And matches like the one against Ostapenko, competitive, dramatic, and hard-fought, are exactly what she needs to continue her development.
Alex Eala and Jelena Ostapenko delivered a thriller at the Linz Open that will be remembered for years. The 20-year-old Filipina controlled the match for long stretches, building a 4-2 lead in the first set and a 5-1 advantage in the second. But Ostapenko, the 2017 French Open champion, showed why she is a champion, reeling off 6 straight games to complete a stunning 6-4, 7-5 victory. The numbers tell the story of two jarringly different approaches. Ostapenko fired 41 winners to Eala's 9, her raw power ultimately overwhelming the Filipina's defensive game. But Eala's extended rallies, her patience, and her composure proved that she belongs on this stage. Ostapenko admitted after the match that facing Eala was no easy task. "When I saw the draw, I was like, wow, that's a tough second round," she said. The respect was mutual, and the battle was worthy of their growing rivalry. For Eala, the loss is a learning opportunity. She showed that she can compete with a former Grand Slam champion on clay. She showed that her game translates to the slower surface. Now she must learn to finish. The clay season continues in Stuttgart, where Eala will face an even tougher field. The road to Roland Garros is long, but after her performance in Linz, the tennis world will be watching. What did you think of the Eala-Ostapenko match? Can Eala bounce back in Stuttgart? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to Rally Radar now for daily WTA news, match breakdowns, and stories that go beyond the scoreline. Because at Rally Radar, every day is match day.